Hello, everyone. Welcome to our yoga class. My name is Tammy. I'm going to scooch back to my mat. Our theme for our class is support for health. How do we do that? Well, being here, taking our class together, we're working together, so supporting each other. And of course, the yoga poses do help with our physical body, mental health, and our emotional health. For our first pose, we'll have our props, so our supports, and we can use pillows, we can use a bolster. Lie supine on our back. So you can tuck the knees in towards your pillows or your bolster. If you wanted to use pillows and open up your legs into butterfly pose when you're lying on your back, you can do that too. Or you may have your legs straight, knees bent too, to help with support for the lower back. Okay, so we're setting ourselves up. Come over to the side. Lie on your bolster, your pillows. Just getting the hips nice and close, your pelvis close towards whatever supports you're using. My knees are bent right now. Here's what it looks like with legs straight. Or the butterfly pose. Turning the knees out to the sides. Bottom of my feet touching. I'll take my arms a little bit further away from my body. A little bit more opening up. Now when we're holding this pose for a little bit longer and you feel this big opening into the front of the body at first. So into the pelvis, into the chest, into your shoulders. You may start to feel different emotions. You take notice. Sometimes it could be uncomfortable. But being here, working through it together. Helping to release these blockages that we may be feeling through the body. And breathing into those blockages with our inhale breath. And the exhale breath, body softens. Now, did you notice as we were in quiet, your body starting to soften? Did you notice if it was a little bit easier to breathe? That your chest was able to open a little bit more? Did you hear any sounds coming from the lower part of your body into your intestines? Your pelvis being open? Things starting to move, things starting to open. Ah, lovely pose. Now out of our supine pose, we take our knees back towards the center one at a time. You may come over to fetal to the right side and then make your way up. For our next pose, this pose, lying on the side of our body. So keeping your pillows or your bolster handy here. We tuck the left hip in towards the bolster. Take the right leg behind. You can let the left foot rest on the right leg, the top. And then come over top of your pillows. Let the left cheek rest. If you would like a little bit more of a twist, turn your head to the other side. So just turning your head and let your right cheek rest. Nice twist into our body. Massaging the organs, bringing them out. Coming out of our twist, gently make our way back up to the other side. You don't have to move your props. You can keep them here and then, but I'm just going to move so you can see me. So I'll just turn so that I'll be on the other side. But this time we tuck our right hip in towards our props. Left leg comes behind. Now up and over top of your supports. Hands by the sides, and then let the cheek rest, letting your right cheek rest. If you wanted that added twist, turning your head and then letting your left cheek rest. Notice your heart rate. Inhaling and exhaling, nice and slow, controlled, to help our heart rate slow down. And coming out of the twist on the side, our side lying pose. And come up nice and slow again. It seems like we're starting to slowly now really find that release in our body, because that pose was maybe a little bit harder to come out of now. This pose is lovely, big opening too. Coming to all fours. This is a wide kneeling forward twist. Coming down to the forearms and hold right here. Taking your right arm up overhead. And so my fingers are shooting up towards the sky without pulling my shoulder out of my hip socket, like really pulling out. You just let it release but support. You can look to your finger, your thumb, I should say. And coming out or the twist. It's a really big one there. And into the other side. And a little rotation, and then now a little bit bigger of a rotation. You can turn your head so that your eyes, your drishti follows your thumb. And releasing out of this twist into child's pose. So again, your knees could stay wide, or you're taking your knees in so that your knees are in line with your ankles. Uncurl the toes. Take the arms forward. Let the forehead rest. Feeling the stretch all along the side of our body. Let your pelvis soften into the heels a little bit more. We stretch a little bit deeper into the right side by walking our hands over to the left side, your arms in line just on each side of the ear. Forehead rests. And now making our way over to the other side, walking our hands over to the other side. Let the forehead rest. Deeper stretch onto the left side. And now making your way back towards the center. Forehead rest one more time. Coming up. And back to all fours. And we lie down onto the front of our body into prone. Into broken wing for our next pose. The right arm comes out to the right side in line with the shoulder. Being careful with this one. If you find if it's too much of a rotation, come into a different way to do this by all fours, and then you can draw the shoulder down. So you could do it this way too. So for broken wing, arm in line with the shoulder. You can do a little rotation. So I'm turning my head the opposite way. I'm lifting my left knee to my left shoulder and hold. A bigger way to do this, so a deeper stretch, would be lifting my knee up towards the sky. Excuse me. And out of broken wing, coming out of the twist, taking your left knee back down. And then crocodile, we take our hands towards the center, so bending through the elbows, let the forehead rest and curl the toes. Let your inhale breath, exhale breath guide you. Inhaling for 4 counts, exhaling for 6 counts. Ujjayi breath. out of crocodile to broken wing on the other side. You could be in all fours and take your left arm out to the side to shoulders, to the shoulder height. Or here you're on, I'm just gonna sit over a little bit more, and you're on the front of your body prone, taking your left arm out to shoulder height. You can let your cheek rest, left cheek rest on the ground, or a deeper stretch would be adding the rotation, taking the right knee up towards the sky, foot is resting. You can hold onto the right ankle too. Just walk, use your hand to walk your foot a little bit more forward. That'll be a stronger support. Come to an end for broken wing. Taking your way out of broken wing. Uncurling, drawing down. Now back to crocodile. So bending through the elbows, arms forward, hands flat down towards, palms down towards the ground, uncurling the toes, our forehead rests. And making our way out of crocodile. Into our next pose, which is cattail. Coming to the side of your body, so rolling over to the side. Right leg comes in front here and extend your leg so it's straight and the side of the foot just resting on the ground. With your right hand, holding onto your left ankle. And if it's not accessible for you right now to hold on to the ankle, could be lots of different reasons. Could be those tight shoulders. Maybe you're working through an injury. You may take the leg back. So finding where it works for you, and then roll your upper body so your shoulders will come down a little bit closer to the floor. Let the head rest. If you need to readjust, please do so. Back into stillness. Letting our physical body settle into the ground. Watching our thoughts. Watching our emotions. How is your back doing? How is the attachment right at your hip? So from back of your leg to your hip. How is the front of your body? From cattail, we'll make our way back to the front of our body, prone. So out of the twist we go to the other side. So just coming back and come back to crocodile again. It's such a lovely pose. With letting our forehead rest, we'll be here for just a moment. And now to the other side for cattail. Okay, here we go. So lie on the side of your body. Take your left leg in front, right leg comes behind, and hold on to your ankle. See if that works for you. And then rolling over so the upper body, shoulders opening up towards the ground. You can hold on to your pant leg too. If you have pants on, that is always a good idea. If you had a band, your strap, You can wrap it around your ankle and you can pull it up. Now, are you feeling this side a little bit differently than the other side? And I did talk a little bit about feeling this pose into the back of our leg. So where your leg attaches to the hip. Might be a little bit of a different opening for you. Readjusting when you need to. So maybe your left leg needs to come higher. You can do more of a pelvic tilt to the right side of the hip. And then back into stillness. Out of cattail. Coming out of the twist of the ankle. Rolling back over to the front of your body. You're prone, back to crocodile. Elbows bent, forehead resting on the backs of your hands. And coming back to all fours, holding all fours here to melting heart. A big step forward with the right hand, big step forward with the left hand. Forearms coming down, let the forehead rest. Your bottom is up towards the sky, toes down towards the ground. I should say bottom is over top, so pelvis, hips are over top of the knees. And from melting heart, we come up. So nice and slow, back to all fours, rising. coming over to the side of our body. Head towards the front of your mat and roll over to your back. Our next pose is happy baby or stirrup pose. And we do it as half stirrup. Taking both knees into the chest. Take the right foot down towards the ground. Turn your left knee out towards the shoulder. Hold on to your ankle or the outside edge of your foot, or with your peace fingers, you can hold on to your big toe. Hold, draw the knee down now to the outside. If you wanted support underneath your pelvis, you could do so. And then your hips would lift up higher. And then you would be able to get the knee maybe a little bit closer to the floor too. Just trying to adjust where you see fit. And then back into stillness. Slowly coming out. Stirrup, so taking right back towards the center. Take your foot down towards the ground. Into our other side, take the right knee into the chest. Turn the knee out to your shoulder. Now finding what's going to work for you again, you can hold on to the ankle, outside of the foot, or with the peace fingers, you're holding onto your big toe. And now adjusting, taking the knee out. See if you can lift, just draw the leg back. Instead of up, draw back. Notice if you feel a little bit of a different stretch into the side, the outside of the hip. Do that. out of half stirrup. Take the leg back. Take the foot back down to the floor. Hold for a moment. And then take the right left knee into the chest. Into cradle, we hold. Let the knees splay open just a little bit here, maybe a little bit more, to help let the pelvis release into the ground, over back, release. Now take the right foot down, left foot down, feet wider than the hips, windshield wiper, knees side to side. Back to the center. Step in, one foot at a time. And then you can get yourself ready for Shavasana, or pentacle. Lying on your back, knees could be bent, legs could be up the wall, of course legs could be straight, arms and legs a little bit further away from your body, or a nice seated pose. We've had a lot of periods of quietness throughout our class. Continue to enjoy the quiet. You may hear sounds around you, just letting them pass by. We may be watching, letting ourselves go. Letting your physical body melt. Thoughts pass. We'll call you back when it is time. we slowly start to come back. Notice of your breath. Gentle, soft, even. Do a little wiggle through your body, moving your fingers, your toes. If you're lying on your back, bending through right knee, left knee, excuse me, and rolling over to your right side of fetal. So you can take your right arm overhead and then roll over. And now coming up to a comfortable seated pose for yourself. Take your hands to your heart center, joining the sun and the moon together. Sorry. And maybe that we were doing our class for our health, and when we work with children, maybe drawing our hands to our heart center would be useful too, with the full moon coming up. Namaste.